Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. That is right.
So, do you guys really want to hear this?
Yes.
How many guests are in the house today? Guests. Who's the first timer? All right, praise the Lord. I'm going to let you have it. I mean, I love you. So, you know, I was amazed. I just want to tell you a little bit. Tindall, where are you? Oh, there you are. Give him a hand, everybody. You did a great job representing you all and you young folk. And can I say young folk here in Vegas? All right. I'm going to say it anyway. But he really did. He did a great job. I mean, I was watching him when he went up. I didn't know he was going to receive his ring from True Mother. I mean, they all received their rings from True Mother. But I didn't realize that he was going to the stage. And when I saw him, I was like, oh man, all right. You know, like that. Oh, all right. So, that was really cool. It was like, man, oh man. And to see the floor, there was not everybody on the floor except the photographers were getting blessed that day. You know, a whole bunch of young folk and then some older folk too. I don't know how many of them were blessed or second gen or first gen or whatever, but the whole floor was covered. And then that sea of white robes behind them. That just, I felt the heavenly hosts were standing in line. I mean, and then when that picture of Father, before the picture of Father came down, that scene that they had, it was like the gates of heaven were opening up, right? I mean, I don't think a person who saw that didn't say, man, the gates are opening wide. And so I had this incredible experience. It was amazing. So I'm going to tell you just a few things today because I'd like to share a little bit more about, but these are the 5 fundamental keys to success. And I think these keys will apply for you in anything you do, in every walk of life, whether it be business or faith or you name it, sports, you name it. They work, okay? See, everything that I know of, everything that you will ever do, and everything that it all starts with a thought. In the beginning, the Bible says, you know, there was nothing, right? But we know in the beginning there was God. Am I right? Yeah. So that, you know, they don't mean there was nothing. They mean that other than God, there was nothing. You understand? That's what they're saying. And then I've heard my Christian brothers and sisters tell me, you know, I just heard it. I've heard them preach it so many times. I've heard them say, you know, in the beginning there was God all by himself. And I'm like, yeah, that's a crying shame. Y'all want to listen to me. It's a crying shame that God was all by himself. And then, but God had a thought. And I'll tell you what God was thinking about. He was thinking about you. Did you know that? In the beginning, everything starts with a thought. Even God had an idea before he made anything. And you got to understand that this idea came to God. We all, and everything that we do starts with an idea too. Okay? So one of these fundamental things I want to talk about being proactive. Now you may think proactive means about, it might be an attitude. Well, okay, that might be all right. But my mindset about what proactive means is something a little different. And what I'd like to share with you is this. If you want to be proactive, you got to have, there's a moment from the things around us that are happening around us, circumstance or elements that are taking place, things that are taking place in our life, all around us at all times. There's this moment between that and our action. And I believe in that moment is when we have absolute freedom. That's the moment of decision. how I'll behave, how I'm going to react or respond. In that moment, you have all power, but you don't know it. That's the problem. I mean, it's like this. You can decide when you see the grass growing in the front yard to cut it or not to cut it. Now, you choose, right? If you choose not to cut the grass, what happens? Your lawn overgrows, right? City starts knocking on your door. Reverend Jackson, why don't you cut your grass? You know? You can choose to pay your bills or you can choose not to. I promise you that don't work too good. You choose, though. We have a choice. And that choice, that place, that little, and it's a moment. It's just an instant when we make that decision. A decision doesn't take a long time. We might take a long time to get up to making one. But the choice that we make, the moment that it happens in an instant. It's really important. And it's this way that I believe proactiveness takes place. It's there that we have a proactive attitude or not. Are you listening to me? It's important. This stuff here, what I'm talking about, is like the essence of it. It is where we wield our most powerful thing. Our freedom to choose life or death. Blessings or curse. Are you listening to me, church? All right, this is big stuff. I think it is anyway. All right, now, number 2 is responsibility. Because you choose, you must take responsibility for the things that you decide to do and the way you behave. Oh, that ain't no fun at all, is it? It can be. You don't have to act like it's no fun. You need to make better choices. That's all you do. You know? But we need to be responsible, whether they be good ones or bad ones. Whether we succeed or we fail. I don't think, by the way, failure is such a bad thing all the time. Some people think failure is bad. I think failure is just a setback, and it's an opportunity for me to learn. It's all how you perceive. And by the way, I told you already, you choose, right? You choose how you're going to do that stuff. You choose how you're going to receive it. You choose what the outcome will be. You don't believe me? Listen, when you have a setback, or when you have a stumble, when you stumble, or when you fall, or when you hurt yourself or hurt others, now listen to me. How do you behave? How do you respond? I'm not talking about out there. I'm talking about in here. First, I decide how I'm going to react to these things, how I'm going to respond. First, I decide. I'm going to let this thing tear me down. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to be defeated and broken, or I'm going to be strong and determined. I decide. If a victory, I'm the one who decides whether it's actually a failure or not, or whether I call it a learning experience. I'm the one who chooses that, and so are you. You understand that, right? So these things are really important. And we must take responsibility for these choices. And if we don't, there are consequences. Oh, nobody likes consequences, but that's the silly thinking. If you don't like consequences, then you don't like ice cream. Because there's been a whole bunch of times my kid got ice cream for doing good. And consequences of good behavior. Daddy gets you blessed. You're getting blessed with Daddy when you do right. You do wrong, well, you get some other kind of consequences. I'll never forget my oldest son, Sean. He was about, 6 or 7 years old, and I was standing at the window in my house, and I was looking in my window, and I watched that boy break my stereo. Now, man, this was a Marantz stereo, okay? I've had it since I was 17. You don't mess with Daddy's stereo. But he didn't just mess with it, he just went, and I'm standing there looking at the boy. Oh, no, he didn't. like amnesia all of a sudden. I said, did you break that stereo? No, I didn't do it. You know I didn't do it, Daddy. I'm like, well, there ain't nobody else here but you. I don't know. I said, son, tell me the truth. And he went, I didn't do it, Dad. I'm not lying. I'm just trying to cut this story short, okay? So I'm not going to give you the whole story, but here's what I said to him. I said, son, Daddy knows you're lying to him because he watched you do it. And he went, I'm in trouble. Daddy don't play, okay? This daddy don't play. I'll let you have it. And then I thought he was going to die right there. And like this. I'll never forget that thing. And so I said, I looked at him, I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to spank you. He went, yes. I said, no, what Daddy's going to do, I'm going to do what you've done to Daddy. When you least expect it, I'm going to lie to you. He went, I'm not getting a whooping. I'm happy. He got all excited about not getting a whipping, but he didn't understand what Daddy was going to do. The next day, I said, come to work with Daddy. He said, all right. Sitting in a big truck, riding around. I said, boy, I'm going to take you to McDonald's. And we're going to get, you know that deluxe breakfast with pancakes? We're going to get double portions. He's like, really? And I'm like, yes. Because you deserve it. All right. I was driving along. There goes that McDonald's. One went by. He went, looked over at me like, wait a minute. That was our go-to McDonald's. Then I passed another one. Then I passed another one. And just about on the third one, he looked at me and he said, Daddy. And I said, yes. He said, I thought you said we were going to McDonald's for breakfast. And I said, oh, yeah, I did. You know when Daddy told you that, he was lying to you. And that boy, big old lip came out, big old crocodile tears coming down. And I said, I'd like to know something. How do you feel? I said, yeah, that's right. It hurts, doesn't it? He said, yeah. I said, so when you lied yesterday to Daddy, that's how Daddy felt. When you lied to me. Don't ever lie to me again. And I'll never lie to you. Okay. 2 years later, he got in a fight with a little boy at the church, and they had to come see me. They were sitting outside waiting on me to get done with my business, right? My son leaned over to y'all might know Hiro Ando? They were fighting, the two of them were fighting. Best friends, fighting like cats and dogs, you know. And so he leaned over to Hiro and he goes, okay, look, man, whatever you do, don't lie to my daddy. Lesson learned. Because there are consequences to your bad behavior. Whether you get caught by Daddy or not, doesn't matter. There are always consequences to bad behavior, and there are always consequences to good behavior. I promise you, good behavior's consequences are better. Okay? Just remember that. There's always consequences because, you know, we have to be responsible. If we're not, it will be exacted from you. Do you understand? What is a good leader anyway? Boy, that's something I've been asking myself a whole bunch lately. What's a good leader? A good talker is a good leader, right? No. Moses couldn't talk very good. Did y'all know that? He had a stutter. Yeah, or a lisp. I'm not sure which one it was. I've heard it was a stutter. The point is he had a spokesman who spoke for him many times. So it's not good talking. A whole lot of good preachers up there, they talk your head off. I'm one of them. I'll talk your head off if you let me. But I know the difference between talking and leading. There's a big difference. You can talk, but people aren't paying attention to what you're talking unless you're walking the same talk you're talking. Does that make sense? That's country for y'all. I know there's a better way for it. You gotta walk the talk. Right? If you don't, everybody knows it in a short period of time. You can't hide that stuff. You're either doing it or you're not. And sooner or later, everybody busts you out. You Japanese sisters and brothers, y'all know what I'm talking about? I hope so. It's true though. You will get found out if you're not leading by example. Plain and simple. A good leader loves the people he leads. I believe a central figure, the sole purpose of a central figure is to save others. Some people say, oh, you're supposed to save Cain. No, a good central figure is supposed to save everybody. I don't care what they call themselves. Betty, Bill, Tokuno. Is there any Tokunos in here? Kim's. Everybody. A good central figure is even looking at ways how he might be able to save the person who is leading him. What does that mean? A good leader lifts other people up. A good leader raises others, not himself. Good leaders don't take credit for other people's work. Good leaders don't do that. Good leaders give credit where credit's due. Good leaders honor those that they lead. Respect them. And also, now you're not going to like me now, good leaders actually call you out sometimes. But they don't do it in public as so to embarrass you. Good leaders do it with love. Now, love's not always sugar and candy, okay? Sometimes love is a little tough. Sometimes. But it's always love. You understand? Good leaders have to know when to be sparingly with some things and strong with other things. We all need good leaders, and we all need to be better leaders, actually. We need to strive to be better leaders. And by the way, there's not a person sitting in a chair today or standing in the back that isn't leading somebody. You may say, well, I'm not a leader like you, Reverend Jackson. That's a bunch of bull. Don't be putting me on a pedestal like that. And don't be putting yourself down. Somebody looks up to you. Somebody's looking up to you as an example. Every one of us has an opportunity to model for somebody else. Every one of us do. I don't care what grade you're in. Somebody's looking up to you. Somebody's asking themselves or saying to themselves, I'm going to be like him or her. I'm going to do like my elder brother. Even if they're only 4 years old. I watched my son teach my second son to walk. Not daddy, not mama. My son taught my second son to walk. Boy, that boy couldn't handle it. He was crawling around on the floor, and he was watching his little brother walk around. He was going like, oh man, I want to do that. I watched him do it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't help him take his first step. It was my eldest son who did. He helped him. He walked with him, holding his hand. And I went, man, that boy might be a leader someday. I mean, it just kind of dawned on me. He wasn't but 3. So amazing. to be effective in any area of our lives if we don't learn good leadership skills. It's important. You can find them all over the place. Pick up a book, for heaven's sakes. Read Think and Grow Rich or somebody. You've got to study under somebody. Find a good mentor who you think is a good leader and learn from them. And this is the thing right here that this ticks me off. Because this right here, this number 4, is killing us. And everybody else too, by the way. Because we're too dang afraid. Why are we afraid of people? Don't you know everybody else is going through the same baloney you go through? They're struggling with the same stuff. They're going through the same kind of hardships. They all want to be loved and don't even know how to love. They all struggle. They all have doubts. Man, we all got this stuff, fear. And you know what? Fear. And then here's the deal. You have to. I remember when I was just a young man, y'all, anybody else in here scared of spiders? My God, I said, when I was a kid, you want to see you want to laugh your head off? I walked through a spider web, and it's like I just got some kind of disease or something, you know. I go crazy. It's not because of the spider web. It's because I don't know where the spider is. I mean, that looked like I just come down with something, okay? It's crazy. I go nuts, all right? Or I used to anyway. Embarrassing stuff. You know, full-grown man turned into some screaming banshee, you know. Look, John, there's a spider. You know, like that stuff, you know, jumping out 6 feet and screaming like, makes no sense whatsoever. You'd think a rattlesnake was down there or something. In fact, I'm not scared of rattlesnakes. I'm not afraid of anything except spiders. I'm a Ron Weasley, man. I'm so terrible. When I was a kid, I had 36 snakes that I caught with my bare hands in a pit. When my Aunt Vivian found those snakes, oh, I got a whipping like there's no tomorrow. I'm not afraid of anything like that. But spiders, man, they scared the devil out of me, I swear. And they did. And you know something? I hated the fact that I was afraid of spiders. I didn't understand why some little 8-legged creature could put the fear in me like that. It bothered the daylights out of me. So you know what I did? I went and bought a tarantula. I went and bought I'm so stupid. I went and bought a tarantula, and I spent most of my days sitting in when I wasn't working, I was sitting there letting that stupid spider crawl all over me. Let me tell you something. I was all right until it got here. Like kind of doing this. You know, people would be looking at me going, oh my God, how did you do that? I'm like, trying to overcome my fear. And then go clean myself up, you know, later on. It took me a year. I don't shake and rattle and roll when I walk through a spider web anymore. I used to, though. You got to face your fear. If you don't face your fear, you'll never overcome it. But guess what happens when you face your fear? They disappear. When you face your fear, oh my goodness, your fear looks like a mountain. And then when you get on the other side of it, you realize just a little old anthill. No mountain to it at all. What was I so afraid of? Spiders don't hate me. They don't got it out for John Jackson. I'm the Lord of creation. I'm all right with spiders now. I kind of marvel at them. They're pretty cool. But you got to face your fears. Are you afraid of going out and witnessing, doing door to door? That holy wine stuff? Oh man. I told my daughter I wanted to go with me, and she went, oh. I'm dead. You know, she didn't want to go, man. Say anything, Dad. I got a cold. I'll come down with You know? She got like some disease or something, and I just mentioned it. Come on, baby. Let's go bless somebody. She's like, just lost her voice. And she likes to talk more than I do. Y'all laughing because you got the same problem. That's the deal. You know it. Terrified of what they're going to do. They're terrified of stuff. How can you be afraid of giving someone a blessing? I don't know anybody who wants to be blessed. Who wants a blessing? I mean, who really wants a blessing? Well, good Lord, all these people want a blessing. Everybody else does too. You ask somebody, how would you like to be blessed today? Who's giving them out? I'd like to get one. Can I get in line? You know, we're afraid of giving someone a blessing. That doesn't make any sense. It's not that funny. It's sad is what it is. When we let our fears just dominate us, paralyze us. Just total paralysis goes on because we're so afraid. You have to confront your fears. And the moment you do, you realize that you're afraid of nothing. No big deals. Next challenge. You hear me? Got it. You know the easiest way to do it? What I found? If I'm afraid of something, you got to go after it. And if you don't have the strength to go after it, go by yourself, go find someone who's already done it. You go find someone who is bold and courageous, fearless in that particular area. All right? And you go with them, and you realize that you were afraid of nothing. It was silly. But until you do, you won't know. Go find a friend who's knocking them blessings down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm ready for some more. And never stop learning from everybody. You can learn from everybody. We had the biggest fool on earth living in DeWitt, Arkansas. I learned every day from that dude what not to do. You know who I'm talking about. You got one somewhere. Now, maybe not here, but somewhere else you know one. Every time he does something, it's like, oh man, that didn't work out at all. Dang. I mean, I feel for him, but I don't know. He won't listen. Are you paying attention though? You should. You should learn from people. And then look at those people who are knocking it out of the park. Right? Home runs. How many of y'all been on MFT or something like it? What did they teach you? I know what I was taught. You want to be good at this? Yeah, I sure do, because I don't want to suck at it. I kind of suck now. I don't want to suck at it forever. It'll be miserable, right? Oh, really? If you really want to be successful, I got a little advice for you. They didn't call me Reverend Jackson in those days. It was just John. Got a little advice for you. I want you to pick out the best fundraiser here. Do what they do. Say what they say. Smile like they smile. Walk like they walk. Talk like they talk. Do everything they do. And if you do it, you'll get the same results. Oh, come on. Why don't you try it? Prove me wrong. So I did. And guess what? The very best fundraiser on our team was a guy named Benny Axelson. Benny is an awesome brother. And I love him. And he's from Sweden. And he's blonde haired and blue eyes and got pearly teeth and they just go on for days. I mean, no kidding. Benny was just awesome. He could walk up there and, hi, how are you? And just smile and they'd go, oh, how much money do you want? Good guy, man. And you know how hard it was? I got small teeth. I got no lips. I can't smile like Benny. I can't do it. No matter how hard I tried. So I got to like smile with my whole face. You know? And when I smile like that, my eyes close. I can't even see what I'm doing. But he was the best fundraiser ever. The dude was just like magic. We had the best fundraising team on MFT when I was with that guy. He was amazing. I learned how to be a captain from him. You know what he said? We had an all-brothers team until this one sister came along. And then she's like, oh my God, you guys are crazy. I'd wake up in the morning, what's your name? $500. I mean, we had this thing. If we made our goal, we took the rest of the day off. And we made our goal every day. And sometimes we made it by noon. And I said, man, can we take the whole day off? I mean, really? He's like, if we make our goal, we will. I'm like, I love you, man. And we would, and I learned everything from this guy. And guess what? It wasn't 2 weeks later, I was making what he was making. But here's the trick. You ready? There was none of me in it. It was all him. I just did what he did. Said what he said. Tried to say the same stupid jokes as he said. It didn't make any sense. But because he was a foreigner, it was okay. I did everything he did. I said everything he said. I even tried to walk like him. You know? I started mimicking his accent. I mean, it's hilarious. I'm country invasion. So funny. But I started making the same money he was making. And in a little while, I said, now that I got that down, a little bit of John Jackson's going to come out now. And then I started making more money than he was making. You understand? You got to, look, this stuff here, you got to learn from everybody. You got to learn from everything. You can learn. You never need, every day you need to learn something. Don't stop learning. You start learning, you stop living. That's just not that. If you stop learning, you stop. Your relationship with God becomes limited. You don't want that to happen, right? The fact that it's a relationship means that it has to grow. You'll learn more about yourself in that relationship and more about God too. Hello. That's the infinite we're talking about. The Alpha and Omega relationship we're talking about. Come on, that's... Never stop learning. You do this and you'll be a great leader. And by the way, you'll have some keys in your arsenal. My goodness gracious. I know I've probably already overdone it. But these are 3 things I wanted to talk to you about before I left. You need to get clarity. Remember I was talking about your thinking? What do you want and why? Why do you want it? If you don't have a good why, you're just not going to get out of bed in the morning to go do it. Your why is not good enough. Your why is not strong enough. Why are you going out and blessing these people? Oh yeah, I'm asking. Why are you doing it? If you don't have a strong enough reason to go bless people, you're not going to do it. Oh, because Mother told us to. Wrong answer. What? It is the wrong answer. It's the wrong answer. If somebody else told you to do it, that's the only reason why you're going. That's the wrong answer. It's not the wrong answer then that you shouldn't be listening to her, because that's the right thing to do. But your why's got to be stronger than somebody told me to. I hate it. When I went to the seminary, I can't tell you how many people, when they were asked why they were there, Reverend Moon told me to go. What? Okay, you told me to go too, but that's not why I'm here. I didn't decide to come all the way here and bring my whole family up to the seminary because Father told me to. That's not the only reason I came here. What am I going to do with it if that's the only reason? I don't know. Just because Father said to. Well, then you don't even know why you're here. Because you haven't even asked Father, Father, why do you want me to be here? You got to have a why that's powerful, motivating, captivating, exciting. Your why got to be compelling.
Yes.
I'm only preaching to 5 people. You ask one of these kids up here why they're playing the dang guitar. Because I love it, that's why. Why do you play, Jeff? Because I love it. Well, Greg, what do you play?
I love it.
By golly, I love it. Why do you sing? I love to sing.
Yeah. Yes. I do.
Shoot, I couldn't almost sit down while they were singing. I'm telling you. Why do you bless people? Because they need to be saved, right? Why do you bless people? Because I was saved also. Why do you bless people? Because there's a whole world in pain. Why do you bless people? Because they need it. They don't even know they need it, but they need it desperately. Why do you need it? Because if I hadn't been blessed, I'd be dead today.
That's right.
Everything I have in life is because I was blessed by true parents. Everything I love is because I was blessed by true parents. I got 5 beautiful children because I was blessed by true parents. I got a wife who loves me. And I don't know why she puts up with me because I was blessed by true parents. And you guys listen to me because I was blessed by true parents. I mean, come on. Look what it's done for me. I was a man going nowhere. No big dream. I was okay with just being my father's son, a carpenter's boy. Hard life. I wasn't going anywhere. Maybe the early grave. I met true parents. And I traveled the world. And they opened my eyes. They opened my mind. They opened my heart. They gave me a purpose in life. Listen now, you got to understand that's why you do it. You can give somebody that. You can offer that to somebody. You can give them a purpose for living that's outrageous. Why do we do it? You've got to have a reason for there's got to be some kind of, man, it's got to be big. It's got to be strong. It's got to be passionate. It's got to keep you up at night. And that's what you were talking about, Mother. I don't know what is it, day or night. Because I'm up all night. Because there's 7.6 billion people in the world who need saving. And I can't do it all by myself. I need you.
Yep.
And I need you. Right? That's why. Got to get that clear understanding. Why? Why's got to be strong. You know why people always remember the hard times? Because it hurts. It's a strong emotion coupled with a thing that happens. If you take the same kind of emotion, powerful, strong emotion, and couple it to good times, watch what happens. That's what you remember instead. Try it. Prove me wrong. I dare you. Prove me wrong. You can't, I promise. But if you do, you'll be transformed. Story. Now, I know you probably heard about story before. But I want to explain to you. You got to know yourself. How do you talk to yourself? What do you say about yourself? What are you telling yourself? I can't do that. I'm no good. I don't ever measure up. Mother standards up here, I'm always down here. That sounds like the devil, not like it. What do we really tell ourselves? We need to go bless 500,000 people as soon as possible. You do that and I'll report it. Hallelujah. Mother, take that report, I guarantee it. I walk that report right up to the kingdom of God. That's all right. And then, what are you thinking? Well, 500,000 people. What? What's he talking about? You can't bless 500,000 people. Who told you you can't bless 500,000 people? You did. I guarantee you God wants to see you bless 500,000 people. We've been here at church almost 2 hours. Guess what? Guess what? In 2 hours' time, 30,000 people were born. In a week's time, 1 million. Listen to me. 1,700,000 people are going to be new on the earth in a week. How are we going to do that? Bless them one at a time. How are we going to fix that curve? We got to do something different. And you must believe that you can do it. That's the next one. I'm sorry, I don't get to believe you. Because you got to quit telling yourself all this junk about yourself that's not true. You know, the devil just is happy every time you tell yourself you're not a child of God. Oh, we call ourselves children of God, but we really don't believe it. You know, I grew up in a First Assembly of God church. Let me tell you how it worked there. There were two kinds of children of God. There were A children and there were B children, B, C, D, and F children. All these other letters. Right? There was only one A children. His name was Jesus. He was the A child. And everybody else was another category. Let me tell you something. Jesus himself rejected that kind of junk. And he told us just the same. He told us, you come here. Okay, when they asked Jesus, Lord, teach us how to pray. I want you to watch now. The Lord Jesus walked over to his disciple that asked that question. This is just how it went in my mind, okay? The Bible doesn't say it exactly like this, but this is what Jesus said. I'm just going to show you how I think Jesus behaved when they asked him that question. He walked over to that disciple and he put his arms around him. And he got real close to him. And he said, when you pray like this. Our Father, who art in heaven. What do I call our Father? Our Father. Right? I call him our Father. What does that mean? Jesus is telling this brother, he's not just my daddy, he's your daddy too. What did he do? He put him on a pedestal. Same one he was standing on. They stood together and said, our Father. You understand? Powerful stuff. No one was listening. They say that prayer all the time. I don't think they know what they're saying. Our Father, who art in heaven. If my Father's in heaven, where's my house? Where's my home? Yeah. Right? If your Father's in heaven, where's your home? Yeah. If our Father's in heaven, we belong to the same house. We got the same house. We got different rooms, maybe. He might be having kimchi. I might be having steak. Bet you sometimes he comes over and joins me. Steak. And then you need to control what you're saying to yourself. So in order to do that, here's what you do. You need to do a little exercise. You need to stop a little bit, start hearing the things you say to yourself. Catch yourself every time you say, I can't do that. That's not true. You just stop doing anything you want to. You choose not to. And you say, I can't. It's more like you won't. You limit yourself every time you do that. Well, I'm not able. Oh, who says you're not able? You understand what I'm saying? You got to catch the stuff that you're saying to yourself, because the stuff we're saying is holding us back. Because if I'm telling myself I don't measure up to what God says a child of God is, guess what? I don't. And I never will. Not with that attitude. Not with that thought process. I'll never even try. Because I keep telling myself. Man, let me tell you, you should wake up in the morning and it ought to be printed on your ceiling who you really are. Thus saith the Lord. You ought to put that stuff on your refrigerator, not for your children to see, for you to see every time you go there to get a drink of water or anything else out of that box. You need to be telling yourself over and over and over again, and I am a child of the one holy God. I'm that true parent's son. I'm the true parent's daughter. And ain't no devil going to tell me different. Listen to me. You need to be telling yourself, I'm a can-do man. I'm a can-do gal. I can do it. Nobody can tell me I can't. Only I can hold me back. You ain't got the power to do that. Oh my goodness, I don't mind working up a sweat for this. This is all right. And then, you got to believe it. You can't just say, I can do it. No. No. At the intensive, this doesn't work. Because no, you don't even believe that. I can do it. No, I can't. No, you can't. Not like that. You got to put some serious stuff behind it. You got to believe what others say is impossible is possible. For those who call upon the Lord. Right? Now, the Bible doesn't say it like that. I'm not trying to quote the scripture. But I'm telling you the truth. Don't you know mothers just longing for somebody to get that in their head? Well, Mama told me to bless 430, but I think I can bless 1,000. She only told me to get a tribe of 430, but why not 2,000? She only told me to 430. How about 1 million? Why don't we just bless 1 million people tomorrow? How are we going to do it? Ask yourself, how are you going to do it? Ask yourself, how am I going to do it? Am I going to go to Walmart? No. I'm not going to go to Walmart to 1 million. I might do 430 there. How am I going to do it? I'm going to put some internet to use or something. I'm going to do something that's good. And here's the thing. Once you start telling yourself you can, and you start asking better questions of yourself and saying, hey, I think I can do this. Hey, I know I can do this. I know I can do it. Now, I want my mind to go to work on making a way for it. And when you put your mind in here, your mind does, and once you believe it, if you really believe it, guess what happens? Your mind doesn't know you can't anymore. And it goes to work on just doing it. Solving the problem until it has an answer. Oh my God. You know, y'all know, what's his name? I done preached 30 minutes more than I was supposed to. Reverend Dean told me about an hour, okay? Praise God. Okay, listen to this. Thomas Edison. Y'all know how many times Thomas Edison failed? How many experiments he failed in to create the incandescent light bulb? 2,000 failures. And a reporter had the audacity to ask this man who just figured it out, how did you keep going after 2,000 failures? This guy's response was so awesome. He said, I knew that sooner or later I was going to run out of everything that didn't work, and I was going to be left with the one that did. And I'm sure he said it with a country accent. I don't care how many times I fail. I'm on this path to success. And I'm not going to quit because I failed a time or two. And you're the only one in the world that gives up on you. It doesn't matter whether other people do or not. You got to believe it as though it's real now. You got to believe it and call it into reality as if it's actual now. Don't wait for tomorrow. What needs to be done today? Mother told us to empty ourselves so she could fill us up. Sorry. Mother told us. Mother told us that we needed to repent because we've been selfish. We've been behaving with selfishness as leaders. And she said, and I'm giving you an opportunity to get all that junk out. If you'll just believe in me, follow me, you will see miracles. She's calling on miracles. Why don't we believe? Why can't we believe? Why are we so hard-headed and not want to believe? Where are those people who thought the world was going to change in 3 years? I'd like to see a few of them. I remember that. Shoot, when I joined the church, I thought heaven was going to be done. I thought we'd be finished packaging in 3 years. And you know, I think we could have done that. But we lost hope somehow. We stopped believing or something. And then we got settled in. And the world, they don't care. They're happy to not know. You shouldn't be. None of us should be. Okay. In order to be successful, you must begin by gaining control of your thought process. Success begins in your mind. It begins from within. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care what kind of house you live in. I don't care how big your church is or how little it is. This church started in a mud hut in South Korea.
Yes.
People walked into that place and said, I've seen toilets in better shape. And Father was sitting there talking about a world movement. And they said, what's this man talking about? And then joined the church. New facilities are great. But they're just boxes on earth if we don't follow through. And then Father, He always told us, before you seek to master the universe, you need to master yourself. That's what this is all about. Repentance is your friend. It's your blessing, actually. To start fresh, be reborn, be revived. We all need to do a little of that. Because we're in a time where we're at a threshold where we are ready to step through into a whole new thing. Where people are joining. I tell you what, y'all going to build a church over here that ain't going to be big enough. You're going to need 2. Then you're going to need 3. Then you're going to need 5. You listening to me?
Yes.
That's a reality if you want it to be. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing. Up to you. Actually. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe Moses. But there are always consequences to our behavior. Remember that.